What's up, you guys? Today we're going to do a topic that I am excited about. So, I don't know how many of you watch those Arrowverse CW TV shows.
Yep.
But I watch them, and he doesn't. And I'm like, well, that's the only TV shows I watch.
Yes.
I want to do reviews of them. So I'm forcing him to watch every single one of the shows in order, in every single episode. And we started with The Flash.
The Flash. So we're going to make a new series. We're going to do a video on every single episode on every single season of The Flash. Now, the way
we may choose
work,
another show after that, but there are 4 seasons, so this is going to be quite a long
series, and we will keep up to date with the videos. We won't skip any episodes. We will be posting.
The thing is,
in order.
The thing is, the new episodes.
Mm-hmm.
We have to go through 4 seasons, and the new season of The Flash coming out in the fall, we may be well behind if you're expecting us to do recent videos.
Yeah. Yeah,
we're going to talk about episode 1 of season 1, and what is the name of the episode?
Pilot.
Yes. So, this episode, pretty much the origin story.
Exactly. It's sort of like any other TV show.
So,
it gives the main skeleton of the series. How everything happens.
Barry's mother was murdered in a house by these lightning blurs, a man in them.
Yep. Now, in the series, there's a kid named Barry. Now, it starts off with Barry, getting bullied and how he used to always get in fights. And his mother gave him a good quote, "It's better to have a good heart than fast legs." Now, in a scene where the dad and his mother confronted him after he got in a fight, the night of that day, Barry heard a strange noise downstairs, and he heard screaming. So he walked downstairs, and he saw a ball of lightning, and it was surrounding his mother that was screaming, "Barry, Barry!" And then Dad came in the scene and say, "Barry, leave!" And then next thing you know, Barry is teleports onto this street, and he's like,
"Well,
Mom?
Jim, it's not teleported. You know what happened to him? Lightning.
Lightning, exactly.
So he was ran there.
Okay.
You get it now?
I get it now.
Yeah, he was ran there now.
Now, throughout the series as well, his dad was accused of murder because
there was no evidence.
There was no evidence that there was a ball of lightning that took his mother's life.
That's the first part. I'm sorry for interrupting you, but that's the first part of the episode. Well, other than, I don't want to go into great detail what happened before he got struck by lightning.
Yeah.
But he was pretty much just a normal guy. He's a CSI.
Yeah, he's
in his police department.
Yep.
Now, one thing I want to bring up is
he's trying to fall in love with his partner Iris.
Not his partner, his best friend.
Best friend.
Which any of you who have seen the future seasons know what happens. I'm not going to spoil it for him.
Yeah.
But I will admit, I watched every season of The Flash at least 3 times, and it does sort of irritate me.
Yeah.
Seeing that, and when you watch all the seasons, you'll know why.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. So, throughout the episode, there's a guy named Marvin.
Who's Marvin?
The guy who robbed the bank, who...
Martin. Clyde Marvin. I don't know his last name.
Alright, there's this guy who is technically the villain of the episode, who robs a bank, and he was also struck by a
wave.
Well, we need to start from the way beginning. So after Barry is a CSI detective, and in the episode, Barry was struck by in the laboratory of Star Laboratory.
His
Star CSI.
Labs? Yeah, not Star Labs.
He was struck by a particle accelerator.
Lightning.
And he got struck by it, and he was in a coma for 3 months. 9 months.
Not 3 months. 9 months.
You talk about it, 'cause
9 months. Now you can add on now. So
he was in the coma for 9 months.
Next thing you know, he's trying to be brought back to life, and then you go to him in a coma, standing over these two scientists. I know their names. Cisco and Caitlin. I don't know if you picked up on that.
Yeah, I knew one of them was Caitlin. That's the girl with the orange hair.
So.
And the owner of Star Labs was also there, and
you know his name?
No, I don't.
Harrison Wells.
Harrison Wells. All right. I'll this is my first time watching it. I'll definitely pick up on that. But
yeah. So
So Harrison. I'm not. You can. Joe's seen this over 3 times.
I'm not gonna go into specifics about what happens after he wakes up, because it's just Harrison Wells explaining what happened.
Yeah.
Then Barry leaving and seeing Iris and going over, and she literally hugs him, and literally, even though I had seen it over 3 times, I thought this is the moment where they're gonna kiss or something.
Yeah.
You know, right?
So
Then she's like, "Oh, I'm happy to see you." Oh.
Yeah.
And what was that stupid talk about girls? Like.
Oh, when they were at
I think that was beforehand.
Yeah, when they were at.
But I've seen the other seasons. This irritates me that they look at each other with love in their eyes and then they don't accept it.
Yeah.
And then
it's sort of like a tease.
Yeah, and then it goes to the CCPD, it's called Central City, where his foster dad. Did you pick up on that? Black guy.
Yeah.
Joe is there and he's like, "Oh, scare the hell out of us." Then they get a report that. Okay, I should talk about this. Then there's a scene at a bank where this guy writes on a check, "This is a robbery," and all of a sudden,
this huge cloud of
breaks
the window, and there's a bunch of witnesses on the scene, and the woman who was the front desk lady was saying how the glass had broken. You know, I saw a huge tornado inside the bank, and I heard this other guy, who actually looked like Doctor Strange a little bit. I meant to ask, but it wasn't. It just looked like him. Had saying that there wasn't. He was surprised that there was a storm inside the bank rather than outside, because next thing you know, he was outside the bank because everyone had taken cover from the glass ceiling break-in. And Marvis is a guy who was also hit. Martin was also
Clyde.
Clyde. Clyde is the same guy who also was hit with the particle accelerator.
Yeah.
And he has a power of, rather than Barry running super fast, Clyde has a power of forming...
Controlling the weather. Just to sum it up, you were trying to say forming clouds and then making it rain. Just sum it up and say...
Forming weather. He was also... anything you'd like to add? He was also shot at the end by Flash because...
No, not by Flash.
No, by,
Joe.
He's Joe.
Yeah. So...
He was also shot by Joe at the end when he tried to...
You know what? The next episode we should write down what we want to say beforehand, because this is moving harder, but...
Now, this is our first episode, of course, but we'll definitely move on to the
pretty much, okay, what happens after that? So and then there's this scene, we should talk about how it gets its speed. There's this scene in the CCPD where a villain's about to take a cop's gun, and then he just runs over and does that without...
And, like, whacks his hand, like, away from the gun, and he was like, "Ah!" And the guy who was another... robbery, a robber, and
I'm gonna talk about what happened after. Right. So then after that, he goes outside, and then his hand shaking like crazy.
Yeah, because that's all the energy.
Going into cop cars.
Exactly.
And then I'm just gonna talk about it. And then he runs very fast and goes into a laundry truck.
Yeah.
And then it goes back to him with Cisco, Caitlin, Harrison, you know.
Yeah.
And they're trying to see what's happening with him, you know.
Yeah. So, after that scene, I'm trying to remember what happened. Also, there was a, as a little fact, Green Arrow had starred in it.
No, not starred, but cameoed.
cameoed.
Which I told him it happens in the CW shows. There's crossovers. You'll see him again this season. Don't worry. But I would like to go on and talk about. So the training is pretty much like he's running
off a runway.
Running off a runway, but there is an important scene between him and Caitlin about what she said. One
of the scientists.
Well, the girl.
Caitlin.
What she said. Well, I lost my job. My boss is paralyzed, and my fiance died.
Now, throughout that episode, Joe had told me that scene is important, and remember that little
her fiance. Anyone who has seen this season knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Please do not comment it, because he will be looking.
Yeah. So we had talked about that, and also the reason why Barry had choked a bunch of times when he was running through the runway is because he had a vision of his mother in the ball of lightning at the start of the episode. And also, who was the owner of Star again?
Harrison
Wells. Had told him, what made you crash like that? And he was like, I was thinking about, getting flashbacks of my mother getting, trapped in the ball of lightning, and how he told how his mother had died, and his father was accused of the murder because there was no evidence. But there was evidence because Barry had told everyone that he had saw something that was the impossible. But everybody believes that
it was a man in yellow.
A man in yellow, and he saw it at the end of that murder scene. His mother had been sucked up by the ball of lightning inside Barry's house. But we also saw a yellow guy, and then everything just went blank.
And then back to Barry, and then he left. And this is the part where we find out. Well, he goes to Jitters and sees Iris and. I actually forget his name. I haven't seen that season in so long.
Yeah,
but Iris and the cop there. Eddie, kissing. And that to me, I'm sorry, I've seen the other seasons, and that to me is just aggravating. That to me is just aggravating.
Yeah.
You'll understand after the end of season 1, don't worry. And then, all of a sudden, him and Iris go walking, and then Iris is like, you can't tell my dad that you're dating. Next thing you know, a police chase comes. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
It was the first awesome scene.
Yeah. And, of course, Barry has the superpowers then and moves Iris out of the way. And there was also a scene, it was the same scene where the cops were chasing this black car, and inside the black car you got a glimpse of Clyde's face. And Barry had chased him, and when he was right next to the car, running next to it, he ran into the car, and he was in the passenger seat. And Clyde had tried to take out a gun, but Barry had, turned the wheel. The car flipped over. Clyde and Barry got out of the car that was smoking, and Clyde had looked at Barry like, "What are you doing? You're not doing anything."
I actually remember this part specifically. He's like, "Hey, Martin," and then he's like.
Yeah, and then it formed the clouds that he got, the fog or the weather, and had disappeared on that scene. And after that, his father-in-law Joe,
foster dad,
had said, "What were you doing?" he
was mad at him.
He was mad at him for bringing Iris on the scene because she could have gotten killed, hurt, etc.
And in truth, I don't think it was Barry's fault that they ran into it.
They ran into it, exactly. It was just a matter of time before
That also kind of aggravates me, knowing what he's like just in the rest of the season.
Yeah. I mean, if only, the dad knew what was actually going on.
And then there's another scene, I just want to talk about this because it aggravates me.
Mm-hmm.
There's another scene where he's like, Joe, I need to talk to you. And he's like, I know who's doing this. Clyde Martin. No.
And then, no way, he was killed in that plane because Clyde had escaped in a plane after getting in a fight, and it crashed because of the particle accelerator. And that was the exact same time that Clyde had been exploded from the particle accelerator, escaping in a plane, rather than
you find out
Barry getting struck by lightning.
You get kind of a vague description about what happened to him when he fell from the plane with him. But let's go on from that. And then he's like, no, Martin did this and my dad did not murder my mom. And then he blows up at him. Yes, you did murder.
Yeah, you didn't see the impossible. Your dad's the
guilty
suspect. Your dad's guilty.
And then next thing you know, he just leaves, and I'm angry at him for that.
Yeah.
Knowing what he's like later in the season.
And later on in the episode, Clyde and Barry, Joe happens to find out that his foster dad Joe and Detective Eddie were on the scene where
his name's Detective Thon.
Oh, Detective Thon.
Actually, his last name is kind of important, so
yeah. They had went to the barn that
you can tell the ending part, but we skipped a huge part of the middle.
Oh, Green Arrow.
No, this is what happened. So, no, we didn't talk about when Barry ran in and it was like, I wasn't the only one affected.
Yeah.
And then they're like, and then he's like, what happened that night? And then Harrison Wells is like, well, if you must know, everything was going according to plan. Then everything blew up and dark matter and X elements, was it?
Yeah.
Went out. And then, Barry was like, well, those are theoretical. And he's like, well, look at yourself.
Yep.
How are you? And then he's like, no, we need to stop these guys because you're the one who did this. And then he's just like, no. Your body healed in 3 hours. You could have the key to solving some of life's most influential different diseases in there. We can't have you losing that because you want to go play hero. And then, that's when he storms out and what does he do? You just said it. He storms out and sees Green Arrow.
And that's when Green Arrow had said that you were more of you could change the city like I couldn't. Didn't he say something like that?
Yeah, like I'm a vigilante, but you can be a beacon of hope.
Yeah, you could protect your city. And then I like this part where Green Arrow had used his tightrope or whatever to swing, and Barry was like, cool. And then when Green Arrow turned around, he saw Barry, running faster in the streets, and he was like, cool. And they both said cool.
And then the next scene in it is when he was talking to Cisco and Caitlin, and he's like, I have all of these cases here about people who have disappeared and stuff, and he's like, I need you guys' help. I understand you guys all lost something, but we need to protect this city. What are the cops gonna do?
Yeah. And
they did agree to help him.
Mm-hmm.
And
now they did find Clyde in a barn.
Well, we didn't talk about the Flash suit.
Oh yeah, but that's how. Now the Flash's original suit was just a goggle, spandex.
It was
a red tight suit almost. It sort of looks like a swimsuit.
The other one was supposed to be the new one. He said like a fireman suit. Didn't I say that?
Yeah.
And they could communicate with him.
Yeah, and then after that,
and then it gets to the good stuff of the episode. Now, let me explain it because you talked about how Joe and Eddie find him, and they literally get blown away by him. Yeah. They're like, freeze, you're coming with us.
And then Clyde, he's like, and then knocks him over into a pile of hay. And Clyde had, I'm trying to remember. I
know what happened. You have to know what happened.
Didn't he throw something with the wind? And that's when Flash had.
Yeah, he throws something at him with the wind, and then he makes this gigantic tornado.
That's when Flash had communicated with the scientists at Star saying, "How do I stop it?" And he came up with a good idea how he had to run fast enough around the hurricane or tornado, whatever you want to call it, to unwind it and to destroy it.
We've been ranting about this for 11, almost
20 minutes.
Look at the time, but under it says 11.
Oh wow.
So
yeah,
I'm just saying,
we can see
the time.
This is gonna be a long series.
We can see the time from the camera.
Yeah.
And I do think we should be more. Like, we should write down everything that happened in the episode, so we aren't
just to be more clear. We'll do this in the next episode.
Yeah.
Promise.
Probably not today, but
we'll do it sometime in a matter of days.
Yeah.
So after that, Barry does rewind the storm. Inside comes Clyde holding out a gun after Barry had unwinded the storm, saying, "I'm not. I never thought there was more of us." And then he tries to shoot Barry, but until his foster dad Joe woken up from after Barry Clyde had knocked him over, shoots Clyde, and that ended off the episode. Except there was one more scene.
No. We didn't talk about that. This is why I like Joe. He actually apologized to Barry for saying, "I don't believe you." Kim, what is that on your?
I have no clue.
What was that?
I have no clue.
My gosh. Was that on the entire video?
I don't know. I think it was my gum. What were we talking about?
We were talking about Joe apologizing and saying...
Yeah, because
he saw...
He didn't believe him.
He saw
the impossible of the accelerator. And what had happened after that?
What happened? Well, he saw his dad.
He did, inside the jail saying, "I'm not embarrassed to be your son, and we will find the guy that really did
I finally have a way to get him." And I was kind of surprised that his dad was like, "No, we've been over this. I don't want you looking for the guy who killed me, even though he has a way to do it and he's guilty." Like, to be honest, I can kind of get that he just accepted his life, but... Yeah,
I mean, his dad said, you gotta live your life, and he's like, "I am living my life, and I have, friends that help me live my life."
Well, in truth,
that's,
it is sort of his job.
Yeah, and that's Caitlin and the other guy.
Cisco.
Caitlin and Cisco, alright. Joe's the foster dad, Cisco and Caitlin are the two scientists that work at STAR.
And the CEO?
CEO and...
No, who is that? The CEO, the guy who...
Sorry about
that. Just a little technical glitch. No, this is the one scene we have to talk about.
Now, Harrison Wells, the CEO of STAR, he's not paralyzed. Yeah, he's not paralyzed, and...
I actually think it started where we left off, so sorry about that if it happened, but...
Yeah, sorry about that.
Do you want me to explain word for word what happened? So he's wheeling down, and then all of a sudden, puts his hand up, and a door opens, and then he goes in, the door closes. Door.
In the STAR laboratory.
Then he stands up, he goes over to this little obelisk, puts his hand over it,
and it forms like a hologram.
A newspaper comes up that says "Flash Missing" or something.
Yeah,
and
Flash.
It was from 2024.
And he just smiled, and then that's when the episode ended.
Now
that I consider a huge foreshadow.
I will say there's something that has something to have to do with it.
That's technically the whole episode.
That's
I'd rate
whole episode.
An 8 out of 10.
Yes,
it was good compared to a DC movie.
That's why I watch it.
If like DC, now we're done talking about the episode. Quick comments about the episode. If DC could make the movies just as good as The Flash, they could not really, be the same as Avengers, but would at least step up their game.
I'm just saying, at least maybe some of the movies would make money.
Exactly, like Suicide Squad.
I'm not sure if those movies, they may have actually made money.
Yeah, did you hear that they're making a Joker movie featuring the guy in the Suicide Squad? But
I heard Jared Leto was terrible.
Yeah, he was.
Did you see it?
I don't even bother seeing it.
Okay, so we're gonna end this now.
We're gonna end it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for episode 2.
Like, comment, subscribe, and remember, I know whatever 23-ish times 4 is, we're gonna be doing all those episodes, which, gotta be honest, it may take us 4 months.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we'll,
So you said 24 times 4 is...
No, 23. I'll never know about 23.
Alright.
We'll do the math and see you guys later.
92 episodes. I just did it.
See you guys later.
Thank you guys so much for watching, and see you guys all later.
Bye.